Go back to sleep. You got a big day of drinking and beating me tomorrow, so get your rest.
And now, back to the Big Dumb Fun Show.
Back on the Big Dumb Fun Show, where we play bands like Prospect Hill with their songs Come Alive and Townie, that band from Boston, Massachusetts.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Wait for anything else.
Hey, studio with Koach Karl and Greg Madden, big marathon runner. Greg just got back from Indiana. And 20 miles.
Caramel. 26.2, but...
Was it 26.2? I thought it was 20.
This marathon was 26.2.
No, because
that's right. Every marathon's 26.2.
Yeah. You know what? That was going to be my next question.
The Boston Marathon
is because
wasn't.
Everyone was like, yes, it was.
Yeah.
But my question was, how can you run a 20-mile marathon and qualify for the Boston Marathon? That didn't make sense because they didn't even up. I swear to God, I thought you said it was 20 miles when you said you were going out to the thing.
No.
Is 20 miles the mile you got before you wussed out?
I would not use the word wuss out. I might have said that's when I started getting my extra energy.
Feeling some fatigue.
Yes.
Were you doping? Are you doing the Lance Armstrong thing? Can you say that on the air?
No. Lance wasn't available that day, so I couldn't get any.
Me and Lance, we share a pharmacist. Koach Karl's in studio as well. We're getting ready for Tough Mudder, and you have a special announcement as well.
I do. After discussion with my wife yesterday, we've come up with a fundraiser to add on to the Tough Mudder. The Tough Mudder is going to be on a Sunday, and I'm going to start that Monday, and I'm going to do a half Ironman every day, Monday through Saturday, which is a 1.2 mile swim, a 56 mile bike ride, and a 13 mile run. I'm going to do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Leading up to the Tough Mudder?
Leading up to the Tough Mudder.
Are you crazy?
And then we'll do the Tough Mudder, and then I will run home from Topeka, which is 80 miles.
Now, see, you were going to run to Tough Mudder at one point in time, but then they were
like, that's too easy.
Yeah, then they wasn't big enough.
Like Tough Mudder isn't hard enough.
I was going to say, are you just glutton for punishment?
Well, the thing, when I come up with these things, I look at two different things.
You're like, one, I'm a cocky badass.
And two, how bad are my feet going to hurt?
And three, what's my life
Number
insurance?
one, and most importantly, is what's going to bring the most attention to the charity.
Yeah. Man, I can totally see that. That's crazy.
And so, in my mind, it's what we're going to have. Operation Breakthrough is kind of like my checkpoint. After my swim, I'll bike to Operation Breakthrough and then run from there and do a couple loops. So I'll be downtown.
And you're doing this every single day.
I'll do it Monday through Saturday.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go to Topeka and do the Tough Mudder.
And then you're running back.
And I'm going to run back.
Now, are you going to be followed by your wife in the car?
Well, I'll have a crew.
Way to go, honey! You're looking great.
I'll have
She's actually competing. Oh, she's doing it with us.
She's doing the Tough
No
Mudder.
way!
Yes,
She doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Are you the kind of?
Paula.
Do you go? What's your idea about the running barefoot? You know, a lot of folks.
I
I've
think
heard
it's
that
okay.
as a trend, kind of coming around.
I've ran barefoot. I think the furthest I've ran barefoot is 10 miles. We believe in a minimalist shoe, like the Vibrams, the toe shoes. My wife runs in those. I run in a minimalist shoe. I'm all for it.
It's actually just socks.
It definitely puts your body in a more natural alignment. It's better for your.
I would think
better for your knees.
Foot right on the pavement would just hurt like hell.
It does at first, but you toughen up.
You just.
You know, I
When
experienced
I was a kid, I remember growing up and I would run around out in the yard.
barefoot all the time.
Barefoot all
That's
the
right.
time. Now, man, my feet
And
are
it felt
so
natural.
tender.
And it felt natural. And the reason our
I never had
feet
that.
are tender is because they've been in these boxes our whole life.
Yeah.
Basically. And you know,
Well, you're not putting nearly as much weight on your feet as, say,
Shut the hell up.
Venkman.
You shut the hell up. Shut your face.
So
I remember
anyway.
when I was a kid, we lived on a big gravel road, and I would walk out to the mailbox thinking, I'll just walk out to the mailbox, which is, a good 100 yards away, and then trying to walk on the gravel.
Well, see, I was the same way before I started experimenting with the barefoot
Drugs?
running.
Oh.
Yes, the doping. The doping
Before I
helps
met
you
Lance.
absorb the pain.
You put a pack of marijuana or something on the back. It softens the cushion.
Going back to the marathoning, Greg, have you changed your opinion of marathoning ever since the Boston thing? Do you think it's more of a threat now? Do you think there's more danger involved now because of the old Boston bombing?
No.
Are you nervous crossing the finish line?
No, it just encouraged me to run faster. So that's all it does.
That's pretty bad. Carl,
No,
have you had any of your clients, because you train clients that often will run marathons?
Yeah. It's
any hesitation from them?
No,
like,
not at all. Not at all. I think the whole thing is, from my perspective, is we continue doing what we do.
Yeah.
And no one's going to stop that, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So, it's...
Do you encourage, as a coach, walking on or running on the sidewalk versus the street? Because that's a huge pet peeve of mine. I'm running into these folks, and Greg's like, no, we run in the street. That's how we do. And I'm like, can you just run on the sidewalk?
Wait, where was the runners running in Boston? On the street. Exactly.
Street was closed off.
Yeah, they closed off the street.
Now, as I send my runners out on Saturday, I say there are sidewalks available, but there are people that want to run. There's a theory.
Yeah.
Okay. The theory is that concrete, which are sidewalks, is harder on your body than blacktop. Blacktop has a give,
a little bit of
a give. Do
you buy this? That sounds kind of BS to me.
I think it's a crock.
No, tell us your real thoughts.
Because I've run on both and don't feel a difference. And my wife,
he can't feel.
You totally disagree.
His feet are not
my
tender.
wife, who is
so
listening,
That's
she
true.
runs in the street.
Yeah.
On Saturday mornings.
Away from you.
No.
So
she'll run in the streets.
You're more of a sidewalk.
And I run on the sidewalk. It's just one of those things where I respect the traffic, because I run down here all the time.
And Kansas City is a tough running community, though, wouldn't you think? Like,
Right.
it's all
you have to
cars.
worry about more than the traffic when you're running down here.
Yeah, it's not like
that's why I run down here.
Chicago or some of the bigger cities that have really made themselves pedestrian friendly.
Right,
and it's
right. No,
the transit
Kansas
and
City's
whatnot.
really not pedestrian friendly.
Yeah,
That's why I
right.
like it. It's kind of, you got to be.
It trains you
You
hard, though.
you got to be a defensive runner.
Yeah.
You've got to keep an eye on things, and I dart across the street and stuff like that.
Get hit by a
It's more
car, you
fun.
can't be.
And I also
going-
like biking down here too. It's just a lot of fun.
How do folks like the Tough Mudder and all those just like grueling experiences out there? It's not a race. What exactly is it? How can you describe it? It's not. It's kind of like an obstacle course.
It's an obstacle course. It's
challenge
just,
course.
It's just challenge yourself, and that's all it is. I mean, you can go as fast as you want, slow as you want. They don't have a clock.
How do these even exist nowadays in this Sue Happy society? How is this even
I
possible?
have no idea, but I do have a theory on why we, over the last 20 or 30 years, we've had bungee jumping and we have, a lot more people parachuting and things like that, is we've never been tested as a society.
Yeah.
If you're under 50, you've pretty much lived a charmed life.
Yeah. I say that every day.
Yeah.
I never had to go to war.
Yeah. I mean, so, we're looking for ways to test ourselves.
Yeah.
I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years, never went to war, very fortunate, and come out, and I had that mentality. So
I agree. The other day I opened a cereal box and there was no toy inside, and that damn near killed me. Coach Karl, Greg Madden, thank you very much joining us tonight on the Big Dumb Fun Show.